Dude, dude, come on, man. I just put fresh batteries on this controller and they're already dead. Are you I might have to go to Home Depot tomorrow and buy myself some AAA batteries, if you know what I'm saying. Nah, but for real, today we're going to be ranking the top 5 characters in campaign. This video is slightly oriented or targeted towards brand new players because typically brand new players are going to go to the campaign to try to get characters a little bit quicker. With that being said, I hope you guys have a nice day, stay safe and stay clean, and boys, we are monstrous right now, okay? In 2 weeks, we're about to hit 500 subscribers. That is nuts. That is bananas. Thank you guys for the support. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you guys have an amazingly wonderful day. With that being said, let's start the video. Starting off our list is going to be Grid. Grid is a decent character, especially if you're a beginner. Once you start getting more ahead in the game, you're going to notice that Grid isn't really that great. But there are a couple of things that are good about Grid. For one, he's definitely top 5 best characters in the campaign to get, so he's not going to be very hard to get. And also, one of my favorite parts about Grid is that he is immune to power drain, and I really don't like getting power drained. And also, if you're a brand new player, chances are you don't have that many reforges or that much gear material to be building up Grid. So in that case, Grid's passive might actually be okay. I don't really like Grid's passive because you could just build any character to be a combo, but if you don't have enough gear material or gear reforges to add a lot of health to Grid, his passive is going to make it so that whenever he loses a lot of health, he's going to get a barrier that's going to give him a lot of health. And whenever Grid fights tech or cyborg opponents, he's going to be getting a lot of different buffs. For example, Grid cannot be stunned by tech opponents. He's going to disable all cyborg opponents' passives as soon as the match starts. He gets 25% power generation per tech opponent. He gets 300% more damage on his special 1 and his special 2 towards cyborg opponents. And then for his special 3, this is a little bit weird. Whenever he kills any cyborg opponent with his special 3, Grid is going to heal himself, and he's also going to give himself extra damage on his basic attack hits. So even though you're not going to get these buffs in every single battle versus every single opponent, it's still nice to have. And finally, Grid is a really easy character to get. You can get it from the campaign, from the arena store, from challenges, and you can also get his gear off of raid drops. So before we move on, I just wanted to say that I was actually going to put Silver Batman instead of Grid for number 5, but the problem with silver characters is that you have to build them up yourself. You cannot get their gears off of raid drops or their shards. And I just figured that, a lot of characters in campaign, they're not going to be super, top tier characters or anything like that. And if you are going to be getting characters from campaign, you're probably a beginner. And so Grid is probably better for you. And also, there's another character in the campaign that does exactly the same thing as Silver Batman, but he does it a little bit better. We're going to get into that. That's going to be the number 3 spot. But for now, let's move on to number 4. Moving on to number 4 is going to be Emerald Green Lantern. Just like with Predator Batman, I remember exactly where I was when I got Emerald Green Lantern, and this was a character that I really wanted to get for a very long time. Emerald Green Lantern is a really fun character because of his passive. Whenever you tag him in, you're going to be triggering one of 3 buffs. You're either going to get extra power bars, you're going to get 100% critical attack damage, or you're going to be able to stun your opponent. So this character is really fun, but there is one small problem with this character. Emerald Green Lantern's best buff is giving extra critical attack damage, but here's the problem. Critical attack damage maxes out at 300%. So eventually, once you build up your characters to have 75% crit chance and 300% critical attack damage, this buff doesn't really work that well for you anymore. However, just like with Grid, I'm assuming that if you're trying to get characters from the campaign, you're not very experienced, and chances are you don't have that much gear reforges or gear material to max out the critical attack damage on your characters. And in that scenario, Emerald Green Lantern is definitely a good character. Moving on to his special abilities, his special 1 has hazard dot damage, and his special 2 gives him a shield that reduces the amount of damage that he's going to be taking. And for his special 3, it doesn't have any buffs or effects, but it does do a decent amount of damage. And if you want to get his gears and shards, you can get it off the campaign and off of raid drops. Two more things I want to say about Emerald Green Lantern is that when you reach level 60 gears, he looks really cool, and also Emerald Green Lantern is really fluid in his movements, so he's a really satisfying combo builder. Moving on to number 3 is going to be Silver Bane. Silver Bane does exactly the same thing as Silver Batman, except better. So what Silver Batman does is he gives the entire team extra critical attack chance, and Bane gives the entire team more critical attack chance, and on top of that, he also gives everybody more damage on their basic attack hits. Also, Silver Bane is a pretty decent damage dealer as well. There isn't that much gameplay out there on YouTube, but I believe Jigsaw does have a gameplay of him using Silver Bane as a damage dealer, and he does do a decent amount of damage. Which means that Silver Bane not only has a pretty good passive, but he's also got a secret multiplier on his special abilities. The only bad thing about Silver Bane is that he's a silver character, which means that you can't get his gears off of ray drops. Either way, I still like Silver Bane's passive. It's really good for beginners, and if you start becoming a little bit better in the game and you want to max out Bane in the future, that's definitely a possibility. Anyways, moving on to number 2 is going to be Atlantean Armored Aquaman. Okay, I'm going to move the mic back a little bit just because I know I'm going to get excited talking about Atlantean Armored Aquaman. And also, from now on, I am going to call Atlantean Armored Aquaman AAA batteries, in case you're wondering what I mean when I say AAA batteries. Okay, AAA batteries is really badass. A lot of you know how much I really love this character. AAA batteries passive heals up the entire team whenever you use one of his special abilities, and he heals them up by about 5,000 health, and that's a lot. Also, AAA batteries special abilities are really good. His special 1 has armor pierce, his special 2 has hazard dot damage and power drain, and his special 3 does a decent amount of damage. Okay, the only thing I care about with AAA batteries is his passive and his special 2. Listen to me. This is an insane combo, okay? Whenever you use a special 2 or any special ability, you're going to be healing up. And also, his special 2 does hazard dot damage and power drain. You're going to be healing up. You're going to be doing damage to the opponent, and you're going to be taking away their special abilities at the same time. AAA batteries is the only character I care about when I go to arena. If I want to have a fun time, if I want to destroy my opponent, if I want to kill legendary characters, I'm looking for AAA batteries to do the job. Because when I grab my entropy, when I grab my AAA batteries, there is no chance for the opponent. I can hear their weeping. I can taste their tears of my opponent because they know they're about to get fucked up. As a matter of fact, AAA batteries has been nerfed many times before. My AAA batteries is not even at level 60 gears, and he still eats 2 million threat opponents for breakfast. With that being said, I think I made my point. Let's move on to number 1. Coming in at number 1 is going to be Silver Dr. Fate. Silver Dr. Fate is definitely one of the best support characters in the entire game, and all you really need to worry about is his passive, and the fact that you can get it up to level 5 off of just farming the campaign is really great. So Dr. Fate's passive reduces special ability cost for the entire team by 2 power bars. And to be honest, that's pretty much it. I know this passive seems really simple, but trust me, it is very useful for every single game mode in every single scenario. As a matter of fact, I think Dr. Fate has the best passive in the entire game. And the fact that he's such an easy character to get makes him even better. This character is not really going to be doing that much damage, even for a silver character. Most people just like to build him as a combo builder and a tank. But again, the main reason why this character is good is because of his passive. So once you get him up to 5 stars, that's pretty much all you really need. As a matter of fact, my Dr. Fate isn't even built up to level 20 gears. All I really cared about was promoting his passive to 5 stars. Anyways guys, that's pretty much it, but before I go, I wanted to do a couple of honorable mentions. Number 1 is going to be Silver Cyborg. I definitely think that Silver Cyborg is better than Grid, but the reason why I put Grid on the list is because Grid is a lot easier to get, and you can get his gears off of ray drops, whereas with Silver Cyborg, you're actually going to have to build the character yourself, and if you're trying to get characters from campaign, you're probably not that high level, and so you probably don't have that much reforges or gear material to be building up silver characters. But I did include Silver Dr. Fate and Silver Bane because they have way better passives. They're better support characters, so you don't really have to build them up. And I also wanted to add Silver Batman and Silver Superman, but again, it's the same problem. You would have to build up these characters. And as for gold characters, there really isn't that many gold characters that are good off the campaign. But if I was going to pick, two other characters that are going to be gold to go on the list, it would be Blade Master Robin and Multiverse Batwoman. So with Multiverse Batwoman, I kind of knew she wasn't really going to work out for the list because you would have to have other multiverse characters to make this character better. And if I was going to put Blade Master Robin on the list, he would have came in at number 5. But the reason why I put Grid instead is because Grid is a lot easier to get. And also, if you're a brand new player, you're going to be making a lot of mistakes, and you're also going to be losing health really, really quickly. And so with Grid's passive, I think that would definitely help out beginners a little bit more. Anyways, guys, with that being said, I hope you guys have a nice day, stay safe and stay clean, and I'll see you guys later.